Another beautiful day in Winchester, Virginia, live from our Shenandoah University Esports Arena as we are preparing to bring you round 3, the round of 16 of NECC National. Shenandoah University gearing up to take on Northwood, the fourth seeded team in this tournament. I'm fumbling over my words because I'm so excited. We've got a heck of a matchup here tonight, and one of the most exciting matchups we get to watch all year long. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Clayton, joined once again, and as always, by my lovely brother, Kevin. And Kevin, are you as excited as I am? Because I can't even talk, Chris.
I mean, I'm pretty excited, Chris, because we're about to see some of the even more high-level competition in a much more unique field. When we saw Radford the last go-around, or excuse me, not Radford, it was
last
Winthrop.
round. Winthrop, yeah.
Winthrop with their top players. Yes, that was a very, crazy experience in and of itself. But now we're talking about something completely different. We're talking about people who are their best at their character. They may not be the one that's sitting in the top 100 graphics, sitting there on Luminosity's whatever rankings. But, I mean, truth be told, we're talking about players who have mastered their craft and are going to be utilizing that to try and beat Shenandoah at their own game. The mind games that can happen from that could be intense.
Absolutely, and we fully expect them to be intense. We expect a very, very close matchup here tonight, because for those of you who follow sports, there's a pretty big tournament that we all get to watch right around this time of year, and you know that these types of seedings can get real dangerous. Northwood coming in at the 4 seed, Shenandoah the 13 seed. So we fully expect a very close matchup here tonight, but we can take a quick look at how we got here, the schedule for this week. As Monday, we started with Kevin next to me, your conclusion of your CFGC regular season. That brought us to Tuesday, where Shenandoah got a massive win in their first matchup of this NECC National Tournament. A big win over the University of Houston downtown while they had a bye in round 1. So that brings us to round 3 here tonight. Meanwhile, yesterday, did Moss play yesterday? Do you know? I know that Tekken had some issues. No, I am getting confirmation from our production that, Tekken had their issues last night with an emergency patch. It will be rescheduled, as you see on the graphic here. Thank you, production. So stay tuned for the exciting conclusion to Moss's CFGC regular season. But again, that brings us all to today, round 3 of this NECC National Tournament. The big dance, the big exciting conclusion to what has been a long but very exciting season to this day.
Yeah, let's take a step back here for a second, Chris. There was a quote that I believe our brother or older brother Tim would say all the time when it came to these sorts of games. Take a step back and let's address the simple things. The name of the game is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The goal is to win. It sounds simple, right? But I promise you, after sitting down and talking with Captain Igloo, or Coach Igloo, about what all can go into this series, we're talking algorithms, we're talking flowcharts to the highest degree, seeing what all potential combinations could potentially happen. Just bringing it full circle on 4 to 6 players, 4 on the side of Shenandoah, 6 on the side of Northwood, and all the potential combinations that they need to be ready for. The first decision of all of this is going to be so incredibly important. I'm hoping we get to hear a little bit about that from Igloo.
Yeah, it does sound like we have Igloo standing by out in the arena, getting ready to get into their matchup, but we're going to catch him before he gets too comfortable at his Smash setup. We've got Ben standing out in the arena with him. Ben, how are we feeling today?
Thank you, Chris and Kevin. I am standing by with Igloo, our Super Smash Bros. Varsity squad captain here. First things first, how are you feeling going into tonight?
I'm feeling great, Ben. The squad is ready behind me. We're ready to take on this titan of the league, one we've never played before, so we're going to get a first shot at him.
Oh, that is very exciting. A first-time opponent here with Northwood. Now, speaking of this Northwood team, right, they have very, very strong players throughout their entire roster. Some of the players that stick out is they have a Roy, Palutena, a Kirby, and a K. Rool on their squad. What do some of these matchups look like against this SU team?
Yeah, this roster is very interesting, Ben, because half the team is characters that most players would say are on the bottom half of the tier list, and the other two are on the top half. But you really don't have those extremes. Like, we're not fielding Sonic or Snake, and we're not fielding, Little Mac or Ganondorf. So we have this split between the teams where you have these character specialists, which you have to understand their weaknesses in order to exploit them. And these players, because they're so good, they're so fast, and they understand how to really utilize the character's strengths so you don't notice their weaknesses. On the other side of the coin, you have Palutena, you have Roy, which are all-rounder characters, and if you don't outplay those characters, if you don't play better Smash Bros than them, there's no weaknesses to exploit. You're just going to lose.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting to see kind of this wide range of character selection from this Northwood squad, being, I believe, the number 4 seed in this matchup. You guys are seeded number 13, so it is going to be a very tough matchup coming in tonight, but how are you feeling about making it this far into top 16?
Oh, it's very exciting, Ben. If we were to bow out here, we would tie in NECC Nationals and NACE Nationals, getting 9th in both. So obviously we're looking to break that top 8 barrier. This team knows we can. When we get to that top 8, I mean, that is really where you get those elite schools that really know how to play some great Smash Bros. But the team is really proud of how we've been playing. I mean, we've gotten some really nice wins this year. The only losses that we've taken are to what I believe to be the current best team in Collegiate, and 2-1 losses to ODU and FIU, which were both last stock game 3. So when you think about it from a results perspective, Ben, I feel like all of our results this season have been exemplary.
I 100% agree. You guys have been looking so strong all semester long. Good luck here against Northwood tonight. Wish you all the best in that one. Guys, back to you.
Thank you very much, Ben and Avery. Exciting to hear from the team. They certainly sound confident, and they should, because there's a lot at stake here tonight. Like Avery said, we have not played Northwood yet, but what is at stake is a bid against the winner of the University of Houston and the University of Southwestern Oklahoma State University. That's a tongue twister. But why I mention that is that Shenandoah has played the University of Houston before and beat them in their CECC qualifiers. So, a lot to keep in mind, right? Houston, the 5 seed, with a loss to Shenandoah in a different league. Northwood here tonight, the 4th seed. Definitely a winnable matchup here tonight.
Yeah, which brings us to the point of conversation that always comes up every time. Chris, we got to talk about the roster here for a minute, because we're talking Shenandoah's superstar lineup. Varrombus, Kip, Igloo, and Willie, 4 players who have come such a long way on such short time to really finding a team identity, rolling with the punches, adapting on the fly. It's beautiful to see just how well they're trying to adapt to the other game plans, especially at this level of competition. The reason why we have seen this team keep up with the best of the best is because they're able to think on the fly, adapt to the situation, and walk their way through any given decision. It may not work exactly how they want it every time, but I'll tell you, they get pretty darn close.
Yeah, it certainly helps having as much experience as these guys have under their belt, both Igloo and Kip in their 3rd years here at SU, competing for all 3 of those years. Willie in his 2nd year, competing for both of those years, and Varrombus, the only first year on the team. So a very vetted squad, lots of experience, lots of success, lots of heartbreak on this team, and that's a pretty good combination when it comes to getting results. But we can talk about getting results, because boy, did this team get results on Tuesday. Kip played out of his mind, and we have some numbers here to look at. Count them, 12 stocks taken out of 24 stocks total needed to be taken. Kip absolutely putting on a show when he needed it.
Yeah, Kip is the kind of player who will take 3, take 4, and still find a way to say, I should have taken more.
Yeah.
It's insanity. We're talking about a format that encourages you to take 3 stocks, in most situations losing 2. Kip has been on such a strong tear throughout competition that he expects more. He wants more. People don't have the answers to Pac-Man. However, the last couple of weeks, I feel like we have started to see a lot of people trying different options against Pac-Man and finding ways to take out that really good recovery. So hopefully, as we move forward on the competition side of things, we can see a little bit more on what Kip has to offer.
Yeah, take a look back at last week here, the UHD matchup that we all got, or excuse me, not last week, on Tuesday. the UHD round 2 matchup. Kip here putting on a show, and it just seemed to all click here in set 2. These highlights when really, after going relatively even against that Lucario in the first set, everything seemed to fall in place, and sure enough, he 3-stocks the enemy team's Lucario and starts to go on a run. I mean, finding Bell after Bell in every circumstance possible and just racking up the stock count. Look at that, up at the top, Kip still with 11 stocks to 6 against this UHD team that took Shenandoah kind of up to their chest in terms of competition, right? That first set was no gimme, but Kip certainly made it that it was not close the second time around.
Exactly. That Lucario player was the one that really threw a wrench in things. Is characters that you don't expect and maybe game plans you're not super familiar with, that really threw a wrench in it all. So to see Shenandoah kind of lock in after Series 1, get blindsided a little bit by the lack of information in regards to that, but really move forward past that and run away with it. I mean, it was beautiful.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time that, you know, this is a game of adaptations, and boy, was that a day of adaptations, because like we said, SU had a bye in round 1, so they had to sit and wait for their opponent to be decided, announced between UHD and, I forget who the other team was, Southern New Hampshire University. And SU openly, admittedly, thought that Southern New Hampshire was going to win that. They were the higher seed statistically, right? Without going too deep into it, SU was advancing under the assumption that they would be playing that Southern New Hampshire roster, and then bang, a massive upset in round 1. UHD comes in with a 40-something seed into round 2 into Shenandoah with a roster that they were not familiar with, but still dealt with it accordingly, come out on top, and earn the right to compete today.
Which brings us to today, Chris. We're talking 6 players on the side of Northwood that are very strong masters of their craft. We're talking, from what we've heard through the team and a little bit of scouting, on the upper end, Palu and Roy, very good players, and one character very fast-paced, one relatively slow, both able to combo pretty well and just control the pace of the game exceptionally well. On the other side of that, you have Kirby and you have K-Rool. And while we've seen so many times on this desk, I would love to see the stat of K-Rools on this desk in particular. We haven't seen too many Kirbys, but I don't know if many K-Rools have taken above 3 stocks. This is what the team says, the best K-Rool in the States, I think in the world. So you have to be ready. If this let this speak for you for the results of K-Rool. If this K-Rool player does not get more than 3, Chris, I can't help but feel sad.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be something to keep an eye out for, right? The narrative around this Northwood team seems to be that their floor is extremely high, right? All of these players are extremely talented and very good at the game, right? There's not a bad one in there, and usually that tends to be where a lot of these regular season matchups come down to, is that, yeah, you know, the opponent has 2 superstar, you know, local heroes, and then 2 people that, you know, kind of hold up their end and just try to get stocks where they can. Well, Northwood is not that style of team, right? There's plenty of talent, plenty of stock taking threat on every player on that roster. So that means that you can't take advantage of mismatches here and there in terms of skill level. You're going to have to dive deep into matchups.
Which, do you want to talk about skill level? The subs on this roster play Wii Fit Trainer, who we have seen has on occasion caused some pretty strong havoc, just a lot of chaos in Shenandoah's game plan. And Steve is in the sub spot over Kirby and K-Rool.
Yeah.
That's wild. You want to talk about the skill level of the players? That's a level of confidence that needs to be unmatched. And you're in playoffs. You're in the Nationals. To make those sorts of decisions, that speaks to the level without even seeing the gameplay. I want to see this matchup so bad.
Yeah, it's very telling to the talent that Northwood has, right? You said it. That in itself, the fact that we can look at these characters and see that two good characters, universally good characters, specifically one great character and one character that has a history of success against Shenandoah specifically, are sitting on the bench here in favor of characters that have struggled against Shenandoah. We've seen, like you said, a couple K-Rules try to take on this SU squad and historically not come up with much, right? It's a heavyweight's nightmare to go into this team, especially, the Jigglypuff, the Kazuya's. We've seen both of those players hit some clips this year on that style of character.
When dealing with, the characters like K-Rool and stuff like that, I think it also speaks that Shenandoah's players have acknowledged, this is kind of the other characters in this roster they feel like they have good experience against. The Roys, the Palus, they just feel like they play against that character a healthy amount. The fact that they're so worried about K-Rool is already super interesting. But the way that Igloo described it to me was that this K-Rool player is a fast K-Rool player. Heavies aren't inherently fast. So to have a game plan that keeps your opponent, plays into that fear factor of you just taking as much momentum as you can and basically armoring your way through any given situation, like that, again, and I'm sounding like a broken record, I really want to see this matchup.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. And I was talking to you and Captain Igloo a little bit during the game. You mentioned that this King K. Rool plays a particularly fast style of play. What does that actually look like?
To me, and what Igloo was describing is a lot of, the moment you are off stage, it's going to be very hard to get back on. K-Rool's not going to be afraid to follow you into the blast zone. Maybe go for a fast fall nair into the forward air stuff off stage. Lots of spacing out with forward airs on stage. Down airs on the platform, just one after another. Canceling the end lag as much as they can. Taking a 50-50 on blunderbuss and down airs. That's... You wouldn't think that would be super, intimidating. But it is. If you don't have an answer for that, you could really be sent on your, suddenly your whole world is turned upside down.
It certainly can. But if you are checking your clock like we are, it seems like we might be having some technical issues. So we are going to take a quick break. So don't go anywhere. And hopefully on the other side of this, we will bring you this exciting matchup that we are looking forward to so much. See you there.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway,
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the esports arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the esports arena is the esports war room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Clayton. This is Kevin Clayton. We want to welcome you back to the booth, and thank you for bearing with us there through our issues. We do come back with some unfortunate news to report. It sounds like we will not be having a match here tonight, as Northwood has yet to check in, which means it is 8:30 here local time, 30 minutes past check-in time, which means we will not be playing here tonight. So, while, unfortunately, that means we won't get to watch this matchup that we were looking forward to so much, it does mean that SU now advances to top 8.
Yeah, I mean, it's good all around, Chris. I would be a liar if I didn't say that I was itching to watch that K. Rool because I knew very little about them as a player. Back in my day, it was Ben Gold and Kirby Kid doing their best, but to see another K. Rool really make an appearance, there's a reason why I was harping on it so much during the pre-show. I was stoked for that opportunity. It's a shame that we won't get to see it, but Shenandoah does advance, and it sounds like with the potential opponent on the horizon, Shenandoah might have a good shot.
Yeah, pretty bright future ahead of this team as, yes, like we said, they will now advance to top 8 in NECC Nationals pending final approval from NECC admin, but we, at least here currently, have no reason to believe why that would not go through. So, whatever the case, be sure to drop us a follow on whatever platform you're watching on right now so you don't miss out on any of our esports action, including SU's next matchup here in this NECC National Tournament. But with that behind us, my name is Chris Clayton. This is Kevin Clayton. Thank you so much for tuning in. And be a friend, tell a friend something nice that might just change their life. We're all in this together, and we will see you next time.
Shenandoah University is a big little university rising.
With 22 Division III sports teams, over 200 areas of study,
Over 300 annual performances, an elite academic esports program,
Nationally ranked health professions programs, one of the biggest university presences on Broadway.
immersive AR and VR learning programs,
Cybersecurity and computer science programs, and innovative undergrad and graduate programs.
all at a place that cares for you.
Shenandoah University is the big little university rising. Find out more at su.edu/rising.
We have the esports arena right here on campus in Winchester, Virginia, and this facility acts as the hub for all esports activity at Shenandoah University. Students are able to use this space not just for competition and practices, but also as a living learning community and a sandbox for them to come and explore and practice and try out things related to and through esports in the gaming industry so that they're getting that hands-on learning and the skills necessary to help them find a career by the time they graduate. We also have the professional level broadcast production booth where we do all of our broadcasting and production, from casting of our games that we play right here on campus to working with outside entities to record footage for them as well. In addition to the space that we have here in the esports arena is the esports war room. Our students get to use that space for studying, but also outside projects. So our students get to use this space for professional development and the academic side of our esports program, which is such a critical component to go with that competitive element that we have. So we combine all of our facilities at Shenandoah University with competition, community, and career preparation. We have over 250 days of programming, and there's something for everybody, and we want you to be part of it.